Hey everybody, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we are talking Six on the History Channel, episode 4, Man Down. Tonight we got Bear's Hot Balls, Naomi auditioning for American Idol, and of course, Michael rocking some shades. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey!
Hello.
Wait, you gotta wait for it. Hey, the man is down.
Welcome.
A man is down, people.
Welcome everybody to Six on the History Channel. We of course are live on AFTERBUZZ TV.
Hey.
My name is Daniel Lindgren, and you can check me out at @DanLindgren on Instagram and Twitter. Selly, what up?
What's going on, y'all? Franceli here, and you can catch me on all things at Selly Hangout. And I'm hanging out with Dan again.
I love when we hang out.
I love it when we hang out. I do too.
It's a good time.
It's a great time.
Lots to talk about tonight.
Woo! There's
That
a man down.
Is for sure. I wanted to start the show off light and fun.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you just a couple fun questions about one of your favorite characters, Bear.
Okay, yeah,
Is that all right?
You know that's my boo.
Yeah, all right. Well, so let's start. Let's keep it on the classy side. What do you think of Bear's hot balls?
Oh, that's keeping it classy, Dan. That's keeping it real classy.
That's keeping it real. Is what
Well,
it's doing.
for y'all out there that saw the episode, I feel like the prior episodes, this is something that Bear was already afraid of, right? That it was his balls.
Yeah.
That was the reason to why they could not get pregnant. And come to find out, that was the case. Bear is suffering from Listen, I
try it
can't.
again.
I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, y'all.
Oh, okay.
But we know what he suffers from. Starts with a V, and it's a swelling in the veins in the scrotum.
Now, see, I usually get a swelling somewhere else, so that's very interesting.
Oh. Anyway, but yes. So, in other words, it means he has hot balls. They're too hot. So, therefore, the sperm cannot make it to the egg.
Right.
And,
It's just interesting. I mean, the guy's like, he can't rock whitey tighties anymore, so those are out. He's going boxers, possibly boxer briefs.
But like realistically speaking, everything that the doctor said is impossible for him to do. He's under hot conditions all the time because of what he does for a living.
Yeah.
All of that is out of the park. So the only other option is this surgery, which he's not open to at all.
Right, and even after they're like, oh, by the way, it'll be covered under your insurance, in his head, he's like, dude, I only want one person touching my balls, and it's not you, doc.
Right. Exactly.
And they're like, oh, no exercise. He's a Navy SEAL.
That's what he does.
What do you mean no exercise?
Hello.
This doc is crazy.
Crazy,
doc. Bear in church, how'd you feel about that?
So, I'm so glad we finally got here. Because, they are the Christian couple.
Right.
And I think it was important for them to show this. I'm really loving the fact that he's questioning God.
Yeah.
And with any faith, if we don't question, this is just my opinion, if you don't question, then how much faith do you really have?
Yeah.
I know that's weird, and I know that sounds kind of crazy, but blind faith I don't think is the best. And you see that with radicals. But I think that there's something about questioning. We're human beings. We should always question all the time, not just faith, but like little kids. They're like, why is this and why is that? And so I think it's beautiful that Bear is questioning God and questioning why this has happened, and even going to the priest or pastor.
He's concerned in a way. He asked the priest, he's like, my decisions, are they playing effect on myself and my family?
Right.
So he thinks that there might be
that this is his fault.
Yes, right, exactly. We have
Bear.
Bear
I
in
just want
church.
to give him a hug. Can I hug
Would you like to lie with him on a bear rug?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
He's married, and I will not covet thy neighbor.
What?
Okay.
Thy neighbor's husband?
I will not covet thy neighbor's husband.
Right.
So, he's just a crush on this show.
Right. Do we know what Bear's daughter died of? Because they show her tombstone. Like she has 4 to 6 months.
I'm glad that they're giving us more backstory. Because to be honest, prior to this episode, I thought that the baby died in the womb. Or she miscarried. Like, I didn't know they actually gave birth to this child.
Right.
They got to hold her, have her. So that takes the trauma and the grieving to a whole other level.
Right.
Not saying that either one's easier, because they both are traumatic and horrible, but it's different when you get to I'm really feeling for him. In that moment when he's looking at his cell phone,
We're becoming very invested in the show, and the one line that really got to me that he said was, maybe it wasn't meant to be, and he said it to his wife right at the end of the episode, right at the end of the scene.
And like the only thing about this episode that I was kind of like, I wish I got more of her reaction.
Yeah.
Like we've gotten her reaction in terms of to Bear, but in terms of I don't know how she's really affected by this, because it's like she just really wants to try again, and where is her trauma, you know?
Yeah.
And as a woman, I think the trauma is almost harder because we're the ones that carry the child for 9 months. So I'm trying to figure that out. I want to know more about her and why it seems that it's easier for her when that might not even really be the case. So I want to know.
Well, I definitely think we're going to find out more, hopefully, later on in the season. Beginning of this whole episode, there was like maybe in the second scene, it was like this, like almost like a strongman competition. These men, muscular men, running on the beach, lifting tires,
you know, it's
shooting things, carrying dead weight, like just bodies.
Well, you know, the SEAL training is very important.
Right.
And I think that they were giving us an insight on that. I follow most of the actors on Instagram, and they give us so much behind the scenes stuff. It's so cool. I really love them for that. So shout outs to the actors. And they actually went and got trained at SEAL Fit.
Yeah.
SEAL Fit is a facility that anyone can go to if you want to. There's a bunch of women that go, which is really dope.
Oh my goodness.
And you go there and you get physical training just like the SEALs will. Now, of course, there's certain things that they won't put you through, but they definitely do some conditioning that comes straight from the SEAL Academy.
Right.
So these actors all went through the SEAL Fit training
That's great.
in order to get ready for the show.
I can tell. They have muscles upon muscles. Yeah, Buck was looking especially jacked up, but also he was being a hard ass tonight. He had some balls. He was really giving Chase a hard time.
Hey, he was riding Chase, but I'm glad that Chase has Calder on his side. Like Calder's really like the guy that's like, listen, just it's all in your mind. They're mind effing you. They're trying to get to you. Don't let it happen.
Yeah, Calder had an interesting. He got the random phone call. It was a
Oh
very
my
short
God,
little
his
thing.
daughter is a hot freaking mess.
Let me ask you this.
Can we just?
Well, we can agree with that.
She's
for
a
sure.
hot mess.
She's like, well, how old do you think she is? Honestly,
Well,
what's her
she's
age?
clearly in high school.
Okay.
She has to be.
She was doing some type of like,
Or maybe a freshman in college.
some
Let
type
me
of
take that back.
artistic
Performance
art, and I was like, come
What is
on.
that?
I don't know. I was actually the only thing in that scene that really got to me was I was looking at her jeans, and I was wondering if she ripped them or if they came that way from the store. Like, were they worn down?
Most of the time,
I'm thinking she just ripped them up.
she ripped them. But now you can buy them like that.
Maybe so maybe I'm thinking, did she buy them?
She could buy them
pre-ripped?
like that. But you know what I think? I think that she's doing this on purpose to figure out a way to have a relationship with her
She
father.
wants to get closer. I like that. I like this.
I honestly, young girls, and it happens all the time, they rebel when they need attention.
And they need a father figure, possibly. Yeah.
And I really think that, you know, her mom's not really around. He wasn't really around because he was like, why don't you call your mom? And she's like, when is she around? She's on another retreat, you know? So, and the first thing she says is like, be the responsible adult. Like, I'm coming to your house. So it's like, it's almost like purpose. I really think she's doing it on
they're going to have a
purpose.
happy ending. I think they're going to have a happy ending. Yes.
We'll see.
Let's go with Buddha's cold shoulder. That was great. I'm loving that scene.
Jealous much?
Oh, come on.
Buddha Bear is super jealous.
All right.
Okay.
Buddha Bear?
Buddha Bear. We're just going to put them all
You're
together.
combining them?
But question for you. Do you think he's crazy or do you think he's valid?
Okay, this is great. So the guy that she works with, right?
Right, is at the house.
He sees her every day with this ring on her finger. I assume she's wearing the wedding ring.
Of course.
All right. Wouldn't it be more appropriate to meet her at either talk to her after work, meet at or at a coffee shop? Why does she have to come to his house?
No, he came to her house.
That's why did he have to come to her house? Exactly. Why couldn't they meet at a coffee shop
She
or a
has
more
kids. She's
public
already
place?
away from the house all the time.
You're defending this accountant guy.
I'm not defending the accountant guy. This is what I
Is he an
think.
accountant?
This is what I...
He looked like an accountant.
This is how I feel about the situation. At the end of the day, everyone here involved are grown adults.
Okay.
And you're going to be in a marriage and you made some vows. You need to trust your marriage and trust that your wife is going to do the right thing. Even if this accountant ends up being a sleazeball. I'm just going to say accountant because that's what you said.
We don't know.
Because we don't know what he does. We don't know what they're doing. But let's say he really is a sleazeball that's trying to come up on her because her husband is away.
Right.
I kind of don't think so based on the way he's like, sir, and he was just so scared of he's a SEAL. I don't
Right.
think any man would be dumb enough.
Yeah.
But then again, you don't know. But I'm just saying, to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think he's scared of Buddha and he ain't gonna go there. But if he is gonna go there,
What if he goes there?
I think his wife loves her man enough that she'd shut it down. So either way,
fair enough.
Either way, Buddha should not worry about it because she's been holding it down for this long.
Yeah.
She gonna keep holding it down. That's just how I feel.
By the way, she was looking quite lovely this episode.
She was. She
And
looked beautiful.
if I was the accountant, I don't know what I would do.
I mean,
I'd be-
temptation is everywhere. This is my thing. Your wife is beautiful. That's why you married her. You
Right.
want her to be walking around looking ugly just because you don't want other men
She-
looking
oh,
at her?
Yeah, because he called her out
He
on
was
being all
like, why
dolled
you
up.
looking so pretty? Sir,
I always look this pretty.
I got super mad about that because what you're
Yeah.
not going to do as a man is tell me when and where I can wear my makeup.
Yeah.
Hold on a 2nd. So I was upset about that, but whatever.
Yeah. Michael in those shades?
Okay,
What?
I made a note about that.
She made a note.
Okay,
This is
hold
good.
on. Where's my note?
Michael, in every scene, he just
Okay.
had to have the shades on. Maybe not all the time. Most scenes, he's rocking those shades.
I
Here we
did-
go. What did we write down?
Well, my note was more about something else, but I made a mental note that
But you're still looking at the paper.
I'm still
this
looking
mental
at the
note
paper
is written on the
because
paper somewhere.
I'm like, wait, okay.
Wait, there's so
no, but I did
much,
write that. If Michael keeps wearing these V-neck shirts, I might cross over to the dark side.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was thinking. So, Dominic,
Oh, what?
we're gonna have a conversation. But no, I'm just saying.
A private conversation?
No.
What do you mean? Tell us, the audience wants to know. Conversation. Oh, my
No.
goodness.
You know, I'd be tweeting him and he'd be coming at me about,
Oh.
whether I talk about him on the show and that I need
Jeez.
to come to the dark side. So I'm just saying
Uh-huh.
that if he keeps wearing these V-neck shirts,
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I might cross over to the dark side, although I don't like what he does later in the episode.
Well, we're going to get to that.
But Michael asking, because now we know Akmal, we know his name.
Yeah.
Remember from last week?
Sure.
The guy in the back. So Michael,
The bearded guy?
the bearded guy, his name is Akmal.
Very nice.
We found out on this episode. So Michael asking Akmal why he switched sides, for me, was a really compelling moment, just because we've talked about this, about Michael really being American. We've discussed
Right.
this before, and so I'm like, this is really like giving me a little more about his conflict between his true side of wanting to be American, and he has been Americanized, and he loves the country in a particular way, but then his alliance to what he's doing and what's going
Yeah.
on. So it's that moment let us see that.
Right, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. What did I want to talk about next? Collar's Daughters, Michael Shades. Oh, yes, Rip and Naomi in this episode. Rip is so interesting because you're really starting to see how kind and caring he can be, because we saw, like, way long time ago, the guy was like littering all those bottles on the ocean, just
Right.
leaving broken bottles for small little poor children to just step in and hurt themselves. I'm telling you right now, how many bottles under over were on, like, not broken bottles were on that beach?
Maybe 9.
9. Multiply that by 5, 45 cents. Someone redeem that. What's going on?
There's a homeless guy that's going to be on that beach that's going to pick those up.
Good. All right. I'm glad
And
you
he-
could see that, because
you
I
know,
was like,
it's gonna
man,
be
if I was
all right.
walking down that beach, I would have saw that 45 cents. I would have scooped it up. Added a nickel. I got 2 quarters.
You got 2 quarters.
I did a lot of math.
Laundry.
All right. So we're seeing a softer side of Rip, which I love, and him and Naomi's dynamic just keeps growing. They tie this guy to a cross, right?
That was insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but their bonding keeps happening. They got to dig a grave together.
Right, they're bonding.
They got to...
In a weird way.
They got to put the man's body in the grave. She's about to gag. It's like this whole situation.
What date number is this for them?
I mean,
Seriously, is it date number 3 or 4?
Date 4. We're on
We haven't even
episode 4.
kissed yet.
It's all right. This is extremities here. But,
Extreme dating?
extreme dating on the 6.
On the 6? Extreme dating on the 6.
Yes.
Good.
But I think it's funny because Barack, what is his name?
Which one?
Boko Haram.
Yeah, sure.
Boko Haram keeps just saying, oh, this is your Messiah. And, oh, you believe in Jesus. All right, you want to believe in Jesus? You want to believe in a Messiah? We're going to put him up on a cross. And it was just, whoa. It was a lot to handle. And I think even for Rip, and I would be interested to know even for the actor, what it felt like to have to shoot a scene like that.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's a believer or not, I don't know if he believes in Jesus Christ, but I think that anyone that I know, there are actors that have done roles where they've had to play Jesus, and they've talked about what that does. And although he wasn't playing Jesus, just being put up on a cross like that, what does that do for you as a character and as an actor?
This episode had a very religious undertone to it. A lot of religious, backstories and stuff like that. She starts singing to him.
Yep.
And which I thought was really interesting because I was looking up some information on the show. She was like on Broadway. She was like in Annie or something like that. I was
she's
like,
super talented.
they're using like all these different aspects of her. And like it's a weird like fifth date for them, right? It's like that kid that throws rocks up at the window to get his girl's attention. She's like singing up to him.
Well, she's singing Christian music.
There we go. More religious undertones. Okay.
So she's definitely singing something to him that's going to give him strength and hope. And I think that what was happening there. I mean, obviously, we both agree that there's something else going on there. But I think that for sure, in that moment, he was feeling weak. And she wanted to give him an uplifting, godly song to give him some hope.
Yeah, for sure. Felix. Do you remember which character Felix was?
Is the little boy who thinks he's a ride-or-die soldier.
Right. And now, was he also, I wanted to ask this, is he also the kid that when Naomi was getting taken advantage of, was he the one that said no?
That he didn't want to rape her?
Right.
You know what? I think so.
I'd
have to go back and double check.
We'd have to rewatch it.
Y'all out there watching with us, let us know. Check the credits for us and let us know.
Check it out.
Yeah, you got to check the credits. But I want to say about Felix, I almost thought that he wasn't going to shoot the guy. Like I thought Rip was really like speaking to his soul, and he was gonna not do it.
Right, but Felix is also seeing all the bad things that are happening to everybody else. That's not,
that's not complying.
The guy that snitched, the guy that even the guy that gave himself up with the 2 arms, they shot him. Blah blah. So I think he thought, if I don't do this now, because I already, if he was the person that didn't take advantage of Naomi, he's already said no to that.
Right.
If I say no to this, they're just gonna. Boom, I'm done.
They're just going to kill you.
And he did it.
I mean, that's the thing, and I've talked about this on the after show before, is that children that are taking into these kind of conditions, it's very scary for them, and at the same time, it's like, it's do or die. It's like they have no other choice. They're taken away from their villages and their family, and they put a gun on their hands, and then they say go. Right.
This is like a really random question, but in this episode, Chase says mother effer, and they don't bleep it out.
Right.
What the bleep is that about?
Well, bleeping.
Because the other weeks they bleeped it out, and then some weeks they don't. I don't understand what's happening. Is it just me? Am I the only one seeing this?
I think you're the only one noticing that.
What?
Because I didn't notice that it's been bleeped.
I notice F-bombs all the time.
I didn't notice that it's been bleeped before. I've always thought that they just curse.
Then I swear last week they bleeped it one time, and then this week they definitely did not. Chase let that one rock.
I feel like it's the History Channel. It's not necessarily like it's not regular cable, per se. I don't know. I'd have to check the FCC rules on that one.
All right. Well, tune in and tell us later. I don't know why we did this like we're singing a song. All right. So Buck's not rocking a vest.
We both had the same question at the same time. It's like, cops wear bulletproof vests, Navy SEALs don't, and they're put under even worse conditions. I don't get that.
Yeah, if anybody knows the answer to why that was, I feel like sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Like, why, if they thought there was going to be any chance of combat, which I'm sure they did, wouldn't they put the vest on?
Put on the vest.
Put on the vest. Why not?
But then
Safety first.
I don't know. For the show, would they do that? Because then it wouldn't be as dramatic for TV. Maybe they do wear vests in real life. I don't know. We gotta check the credits on that one.
Yeah. So do we want to talk about Michael? Right? Is that what you want to talk about next?
I do want to talk about Michael, but I do want to talk about something else for a second, because we're talking about these bulletproof vests.
Sure.
And the things that they endure and what they go through. When Bear falls asleep in the cage, and he's like assimilating like what he goes through in combat. It was just such a beautiful shot of seeing PTSD and how real it is.
Right.
Because I've seen other shows and of combat and people in the military, and they show PTSD as like they're back home and they're like crazy and they're on drugs and whatever. There are all these other ways of showing PTSD, but this was like a very subtle, beautiful way. Shout outs to the writers and directors that created this scenario, because it's just so small, but it's so impactful that this man is having dreams of being in combat, and
Yeah.
it's affecting him in his body.
Right, yeah, he's pulling the trigger. But they also, I believe they showed it in the episode last week too, with Rip and his hands, with the shaking of the hands too, which would be another example of that.
They all do they do a great job, the show, of doing those subtle things. And if you're not really paying attention, then you miss it.
Yep.
But you saw it last week, I see it this week.
Which brings that final scene was
Oh my God.
was crazy, and like it was in a way it was a great battle where it was like, oh my God, so much is happening. It was so believable.
Right.
I was watching every minute like, oh my, you were.
Right.
I got to watch the end with you, and you were freaking out. You were jumping all over the place.
It's freaking out. But it's so funny because I remember our very first episode when we did the pilot, how we talked about we don't know how we feel about these, combat scenes. But now we've gotten to episode 4, and it's really, really great.
Right. What were you doing before Buck got shot in like the rib cage area?
Yeah.
He came around the corner and you were like, you fawning over him in a way, right? What was that? It was a weird. I couldn't talk to you then about it.
The way he was holding the gun,
my God.
And his guns were just dun, dun, dun.
There were so many guns on the screen.
There was,
Oh man,
I appreciate that.
You did. You vocally appreciated it.
I'm vocal when I watch TV, which is why if you don't appreciate that, don't watch shows with me.
But I want to watch. But it wasn't. There weren't any words that came out. It was more like, and
sometimes I'm speechless. It happens.
It was great.
It happens.
Just sounds and noises came out. It was awesome.
But I want to talk about why did Bear decide to go in blind, though? Because, I mean, obviously then there wouldn't be the combat scene and we wouldn't have the episode, so I get it.
I think he went in blind because he's so obsessed with getting his best bud Rip back.
I don't think it's just Rip.
Proving to himself that
honestly, I think that he feels less of a man at this point because of what's going on at home.
For sure.
I think, Rip has always been this thing, but it's like...
More recently, it's the
he was looking at the phone of his daughter. He was going to call home, he didn't.
You're right.
There's just so much going on that I think that he's clouded, and he didn't make the right call, which is why when we see the preview for next week, he's like, man, I should have protected my men. And she's like, it's not your fault. And he's like, because... I think deep down he knows he could have made a better call.
It's one of those things, though, that if nothing happened to Buck, we wouldn't even be saying this, right?
We wouldn't be having this conversation.
It's like in a football game where it's like, do I just kick one for a field goal, or do I, go for 2, and then they go for 2, like you should have kicked the field goal. What if they made the 2? Then you wouldn't be saying that. It's such a weird.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing. Definitely his manhood's being checked. By it's not even his fault, really. I mean,
it's not his fault, but I mean, you're a man. I don't know. I don't want to speak.
I'm a man. Wait, hold on. Who told you that?
I don't want to speak for men, but
go for it. Speak for men, and I'm just gonna pretend everything you say is factual.
There are a lot of men who like to speak for women, so
do it then. Yeah, come on. I don't care. I love this.
I feel like. Unfortunately, when a man's manhood is checked or questioned in any kind of way, his ego then flares up and causes him to do a lot of things that makes him feel like he has to prove his man.
We are a much more sensitive breed than we like to let off.
Honestly, I believe that men are more sensitive than women are.
Man, that is a hot take right there.
Hands down.
That's a hot take.
Hands down, because the difference is we evoke, we emote our emotions. Men don't. So you spend a lot more time trying to cover up and push down some stuff that you've been feeling. So
I cover up and have to push it down all the time, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
You brought it up. I'm just repeating what you said. You can't?
I can't with damn people. I just can't.
You said everything, and I just made it into a sexual innuendo.
I don't want to generalize, though, because obviously not all men are like that.
Yeah, I'm not at all.
But I grew up with 5 brothers, and so,
So what then?
I grew up with 5 brothers.
You know how sensitive we can be.
Yeah.
We're such sensitive souls.
I'd be hugging my bros like, I love you.
I'm not afraid to cry.
Yeah.
I cry all the time.
Listen.
I watch a lot of those soldiers coming home, cry. Those wedding proposals out of nowhere, cry.
Okay.
Should I keep going?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
I didn't have any more? That's a lie. I had a lot more. But I didn't have any more. No. All right, so we got the final battle going. Poor Buck gets shot. Right. And what I'm wondering with the whole Buck thing is, is he going to survive? We can get to some possible predictions. Yeah, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, yes, there we go. Oh, there. I wasn't sure if we could until that happened.
Wowzers.
no resolve for him and his like wife that he's spying online with. Hello, I want some resolve there, and if he doesn't make it, I'll never know. Remember, he thinks his wife is cheating on him.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And
so
I love
we'll
Buck.
see.
He's so strong and muscular.
Well, you know,
That's why I love him, because he's so strong and muscular.
based on the stuff we've talked about before, and based on the previews with the casket, I don't know.
We're not saying we're saying it's not a good, not good.
I think it's not good. I think it's not good. I'm just gonna be honest. We're halfway through. There's only 4 more episodes left, and you know, I don't think it's good. I don't see. This is why I'm hesitating to even say it out loud, because life and death lies in the power of the tongue, and I don't want to speak death into Buck. So I'm not gonna say it, but I just don't think it looks good.
Should we? Is there a possibility that he may be joining us next week, Buck? Possibly.
Possibly.
Should we just?
Those guns are gonna come out. I think
my God.
you guys just gotta watch. You guys just gotta be here next week.
We'll put 2 cameras on him if he comes. We don't know.
We don't know. We'll
Anybody
see.
can walk through that door
Anybody
anytime.
can be
It's
here.
unlocked. You guys come on down to the studio. We'll
You
buzz
kn-
you in.
You know who I want here. It'd be awesome to have
Oh.
Bear and Michael in the same, like at the same time.
I'm
so
looking
then I
over
could
there,
choose between my
imagining
good
it.
side and my bad side. I don't know.
Oh my God.
But I predict that Michael is gonna be really naughty in this next episode.
Oh my God.
And I don't mean in the way you guys think I mean.
I do. I think that's the way you meant. The last words that you said at the end when we see
Michael.
the preview for next week, right?
Oh, Michael.
And you said, "Oh, Michael."
Oh, Michael.
And I'm underlining it.
And that's because, all right.
She said, "Oh, Michael."
I did.
Oh,
I said,
Michael,
oh,
I wrote it down.
Michael.
Why did you say, "Oh, Michael"? And you were like, you want to be mad at him because he's
I
the
do
bad
want
guy.
to be mad at him.
But he's wearing shades probably when you said
No,
that.
he wasn't wearing shades this
Oh,
time.
man.
Because okay, I'm gonna backtrack for a second before
Good.
this prediction.
All right.
So like when he has the whole thing like 5 million, 10 million argument, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, ooh, okay, he's negotiating. He's strong. He's like,
Oh yeah.
But then when he like takes matters into his own hands and brings the assault team and literally kills everybody and just bounces, now for the prediction for next week, I'm like, oh, he's unpredictable.
Right. Boko Haram.
It's
gone.
basically he's unpredictable.
Felix gone.
Because I really thought he was gonna come into this village and negotiate, probably talk them down, pay the price, and keep it moving.
That's what I thought too.
But Michael does not play fair.
Oh.
Therefore, in this next episode, I think he's gonna do some real hardcore, like
Hardcore again. What?
he's gonna do some hardcore
Some
torturing,
50 Shades of Grey stuff.
some torturing,
Oh,
not 50 Shades, but
oh,
some torturing and some things
Oh, my goodness.
are gonna. I don't think he's gonna let Rip go that easy. I think he wants Rip to suffer, and he's gonna make sure that he does.
I think that they're going to be such a because we haven't seen Rip and him really have a scene together yet in their
No.
first big scenes next week, and the crumpling of the paper. Oh my God!
It's gonna be awesome.
I just think they're both such great actors, and there's so much. I bet they had so much fun like doing that scene, just like being such badasses back and forth, and it's gonna
I
be
do
great.
have a question for you about predictions.
Oh my God!
What do you think is gonna happen in Bear's marriage? Do you think this is gonna really affect their marriage?
Well, now they don't have any kids together right now. I really don't want them to get a divorce. In theory, like it to work out because they're high school sweethearts.
But you heard how she said
She was really like this, or
we
it's
need
not.
to
It's
we
done.
need to talk.
Right.
When a woman says we need to talk,
Yeah.
you should know it's never good when a woman says we need to talk.
The show's not afraid to have couples break up. I mean, Rip and his
it
his
goes
woman that
down.
he used to do it on the outside of a car with.
It goes down. People break up.
It's over.
War is not easy on families, on
Right.
marriages, on the men themselves and the women that serve.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's why I'm asking. What do you think? What's your prediction? What do you?
God,
You think they're gonna work through this? You think he's gonna have the talk? He's gonna avoid it? Like, what's gonna happen?
All right, I don't want to sit on the fence, so I'm just going to throw it out there. He has the surgery, and then they have intercourse, and then like the last scene of episode 8 is like a pregnancy test, and it says what positive would mean she's pregnant.
Yeah.
It says that. It says positive.
You have such great faith.
I've never gotten a girl pregnant before, so I had to ask you if that was right. Is it negative? Wait, negative is a good way back. Which one's good?
Good to know that Dan doesn't have some kind of babies
I'm
out
31 years old. I did it. I mean, I didn't do it. Woo! All right, great. We got our predictions out
We
of the way.
got our predictions out. I'm glad that you have faith in Bear.
Yes.
And that he's going to do the right thing.
Yes.
I don't know. The show is taking me on a roller coaster. I don't know what's finna happen.
Every time I see like a bear, I saw like a zebra rug the other week, and I thought
And
a
you
bear.
thought about Bear?
I thought anytime
How
I see.
does zebra and bear go together,
I just thought
Dan?
because it was a zebra rug, which was weird, and I felt bad if that was a real zebra. But yeah, anyways, so random. But a bear rug, yeah.
They don't go together.
And they're still rugs. And
Okay.
He's bare, and he was not bare-chested at all this episode.
He wasn't, and we predicted last week that we would see at least some shirts off, and we saw zero. Zero shirts came off this episode.
We saw zero
That's
shirts
all right.
coming off.
Next week, I'm gonna see a shirt off, Michael.
Oh my god.
Nah,
Oh my goodness.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm gonna leave you guys alone with. I'll leave Sally alone
leave
with the
me
camera.
alone. No,
With the
it's
camera.
that.
Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap this baby up?
I think we're good, man. This episode was great. Man down. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see what happens next week.
I really hope Buck's okay. I want him to pull through. I really do.
I do too.
The casket in the previous preview does not help this cause at all.
It doesn't.
Guys, you just saw History 6. My name is Daniel Lindgren. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheDanLindgren. And also for some of my comedy, Kiss and Tell Show, Selly.
Hey guys, Franceli Chapman here. You can catch me on all things at Selly Hangout, and I started a new podcast. It's called We're Straight Up Spanglish. So check it out if you want to hear us there too.
I love it. All right, see you guys later. Buzz you later. Buzz.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.